Okay, so by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to greet the examiner and begin the test. Give full answers to common Part 1 topics. Answer questions using a range of appropriate tenses. And use fluency markers to deal with unexpected topics. So can everyone hear me okay? Because some people are saying they can't hear me. Yeah, good. Okay, so if you can't hear me, it's probably a problem your end, right? So just check that. So first of all, can anyone tell me what fluency markers are? What's a fluency marker? No idea? Okay, anyone? Yeah, someone's given an example. Rupa's given an example. So it's basically, it's a word or phrase you can use. I am actually speaking loudly, Sunny, so you might have to adjust your settings. I'm speaking quite loudly. So it's a word or phrase you can use to give you some time, okay? So if someone asks you a question and you're not sure what to do, yes, it's like a filler, Medina, that's right. It's like, yeah, something that will give you time to think of what to say, okay? And it also makes your English sound more natural. Yeah, so some of you are coming up with some really good expressions, so we're going to look at these later on. Right, really easy question. What happens at the start of the speaking test? Greeting, yeah, so very, very easy. You have a 5-minute face-to-face interview. So first of all, you will greet the examiner. You confirm your name and ID. And then you begin part 1. No handshake at this time, that's right, yes. And then you have 3 sets of 5 questions. Okay, so then part 1, set 1. 3 to 5 questions on one of these topics, right? Can anyone think of the topics you might be asked questions on? Yeah, so you've got quite a few: hobbies, hometown, study, friends. Yeah, so really basic topics. And what you can do actually, you can have a look on Google. I've got a really great, something I found a long time ago, which has sample IELTS speaking topics. If you put that into Google, you should be able to get a whole list of questions and you can just work your way through them. Okay, so sample IELTS speaking topics or something similar to that. If your exam is tomorrow, Emma, you haven't got lots of time, but do your best. Okay, so some examples here: work and study, home, hometown. So pretty easy topics. And then sets 2 and 3. So another 3 to 5 questions on 2 further everyday topics. Some of them you've mentioned. Okay, hobbies and clothes. And also some unusual topics. So people that have maybe done this before, do you remember the unusual topics? Yeah, somebody's maybe done it before. Donna, robots was one, and flowers is another. Okay, these are just examples. They could be on, your questions could be on anything. So this is where people get a bit stuck. They're not sure how to answer these questions. Okay, so greeting the examiner. And the examiner will ask these questions. They always ask these questions. So what's your full name? Okay, that is all you need to say. My full name's blah, blah, blah. Okay, you don't need to start a conversation. You just give that information. And what can I call you? Okay, how would you start to answer this? You can call me. That's right. You can call me Huolin. What's the next thing they ask? Yeah, so the ID. Sorry, where are you from? And then, yeah. So where are you from? What would you say? I'm from. Yes. I mean, this person says I'm from Beijing, which is in the north of China. So you can add a little bit of information, but it's not really necessary. And then the last one, can I see your ID? How would you answer that? Yeah, so you can't say no. Of course. Here you are. Yeah. So as you can see, those answers, those questions and answers are really short. You don't need to elaborate. You don't need to say more than that. In other words, don't ask questions, don't give extra information. Do, what should you do? Answer questions, yes. Anything else? Any tips? People that have done this, smile, Vidi, yes, be clear, relax, yes. So do use contractions. Okay, for example, I'm, my full names. Okay, you don't need to speak really formally, speak naturally. Of course, you need to speak clearly and you need to try and smile and relax. Okay, if you're like me, when I get nervous, I don't smile. I find it really difficult. So you need to force yourself to smile if possible. I know it's hard. Yeah, it's really difficult. Okay, so looking at common topics, work and study, first of all. Three sets of questions, questions about you and familiar topics. And you have 5 minutes, it's not very long. So in part one, you have to answer about questions on your work or study. What questions might you be asked on these topics? Do you work or are you a student? Yes. What do you study? What do you do? Yes. What's your profession? What's your occupation? Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking more about, some of you giving other examples, I'm thinking more about work or study. Okay, these are the types of questions you might be asked. What do you do for a living? Yes, good. How do you think on the spot for the question? So if you get stuck, you should use fluency markers, which we're going to look at shortly. Do you like your profession and why? Yes, that's another one. Good. Okay, so this is a typical type of scenario here. I'd like to start by asking you a few questions about yourself. Let's talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student? Okay, how would you answer that question? I work. I'm still a student. Okay, so you're all giving quite accurate answers. But what's the problem with this answer here? I'm a student. It's too short, yeah. It's far too short. So even though that is a correct answer, you need to give some more information. So I'll just show you how to do that. What other things could you say? Well, actually, I work, yes. You could give your school. You can say what you're studying, yes. Yeah, let's just have a look at this answer. Okay, here we've got a nice fluency marker actually. Okay, I'm a student. So that's a really natural way to start. I'm in the final year of an engineering diploma at college. Okay, so that's a little bit more information, what they're studying, what whereabouts they are on the course. Once I graduate, I hope to continue my studies by completing a master's degree. Okay, so as you can see, this is a really full answer. So I'm looking at, sorry, I'm not acknowledging all your comments because there's quite a few. How can you answer when I was asked, are you a student or do you work? I would, Donia, I would prepare answers. So think about all the possible questions that could come up. Remember, you don't need to be completely honest. You can make something up, but just have an answer ready. So if you're working, you can maybe say, well, actually, I'm not working. I'm not a student, I'm working. But just be prepared to answer these types of questions because they're really common. Okay, another typical question. Do you sometimes feel like you have to work too hard? Yeah, you can lie, Stephen. You can be economical with the truth. You don't need to be completely accurate. They're not going to check. All right, obviously this answer is far too short. Yes, I do. What could you say to this? How would you answer it? Give the reasons. Okay. I like to work hard to get the desired results. Yes. Yeah, Salah's a nice answer there. Sorry, they're moving quickly, so I can't acknowledge them all, but the ups and downs in my work, that's good, yes. Okay, so I'll show you the answer that we've got. Another really nice fluency marker here. As a matter of fact, yes, sometimes. I do feel like I have to study too hard. So you can see that's answering this question. And then you can add more information. We have a lot of assignments and it can be difficult to complete them before the deadline. Okay, so this person is a student. So this is a nice answer to give in that situation. And yeah, sometimes sometimes at work, you might say, we need to give extra hours to deliver the project on time. I've got a lot going on at our work site. So some of these answers are really, really good. So if we have time at the end, I can have a look at some of them if you like. Okay, another question here. What do you like to do at the end of the day after you've finished studying? Okay, this is a very, very dull answer. I like watching TV. It might be the truth, but remember what I said, try and elaborate, make it interesting. What could you say to that? I like to unwind by hitting the gym. Nice, that's a good answer. I like to hang out with friends or chill out watching a movie. Another really good answer. So this is a really good chance for you to use some colloquial expressions like that. It's like chill out, hang out, unwind, these kind of expressions. I like to talk to my girlfriend. Oh, that's really sweet. I prefer to, yeah, rest, have some rest at home. You can mention the series. Yeah, that's a good idea. So as I said, try and make your answer interesting. So I'll show you what we said here. Well, after I finish studying in the evening, I like to relax by watching some of my favorite series on TV. It helps me unwind. So somebody used this expression before. And, okay, which word goes in here? Recharge, yes. So as you can see, and as I mentioned just now, it's really a good chance for you to use some colloquial expressions. So the kind of expressions that we use quite naturally. So unwind, what does unwind mean? Yeah, it just means to relax. Yeah, that's right. And recharge my batteries, what does that mean? Recover, get energy. Good, nice explanation. Yes, that's right. So in part 1, you might be asked questions about your hometown or the place you live. What questions might you be asked? Okay, so thinking about these topics now. Where do you live? Yes, well, possibly. I mean, that is for the beginning. Yeah, anything else? Is your hometown big city or a small town? That's nice, yes. What's special about your city? Population? Yeah, if you say that's a good one, tell me about your hometown. So that leaves it open. What's your country famous for? Yeah,